Now that we've looked at the product rule, which is how to differentiate the products of two functions, we're going to move on to looking at the quotient rule, which is how to look at one function divided by another function. Let's jump straight into that. So the quotient rule is used for differentiating functions that look like this: some function of x u divided by some function of x v. Now we can actually derive this one using our other rules, because this is really u multiplied by v to the minus 1. So I can actually just use a mixture of the product rule and the chain rule to differentiate this. Check this out. The derivative here, using the product rule, is differentiate this one, so u dash, and don't differentiate this one, v to the minus 1. Plus, don't differentiate this and do differentiate this. Okay, so we've got a function, some stuff, to the power of minus 1. So power comes down to the front, minus, power drops by 1, and multiply by the derivative of the stuff. Now, this is awful notation, right? But I didn't make it up, right? V dash means the derivative of v, v to the minus 1 means 1 over v, v to the minus 2 means 1 over v squared. Okay, can we neaten this up? Well, we've got u dashed v to the minus 1 minus u v to the minus 2 v dash. So I'm going to factorize out v to the minus 2 here, v to the minus 2. And so I'm going to have u dash here, and then I need v to the power of 1, so that the power of 1 adds to the minus 2 to get minus 1, but that's just v, so u dash v minus, and if I'm factorizing out v to the minus 2, we're just left with u v dash. Okay, so neatened up a little bit, we tend to write this, since it's v to the minus 2, we'll write it as v squared down here, and typically you'll see it written as v u dash minus u v dash. So it's a little bit more complicated than the product rule or the chain rule, but it's another useful one. The logic here is this: if you've got u divided by v, it's the function on the bottom multiplied by the derivative of the function on top, minus the function on the top times the derivative of the function on the bottom, and the whole thing divided by the function on the bottom squared. Let's apply this to a bunch of cases. So, reminder of what our rule is: if y is u divided by v, well, the derivative dy by dx is v u dash minus u v dash all over v squared. So it really can be useful to write your u's and your v's carefully to one side here. So in this example, my u, the function in top, is e to the x, and my v is x squared plus 1. So that means that u dash, the derivative of u, is just e to the x, and v dash is 2x. So applying my rule, I get dy by dx is equal to v u dash, so that's this times this. So that's x squared plus 1 e to the x minus u v dash, which is just 2x e to the x. And the whole thing divided by v squared, and v squared is x squared plus 1, so that's x squared plus 1 squared. Now I could possibly neaten this up if I wanted. There's not necessarily any need to, but for example I could factorize out an e to the x at the top, and what I'm left with is x squared plus 1 minus 2x, or x squared minus 2x plus 1. And all of that is divided by x squared plus 1 squared. And, you know, look, this happens to factorize. This is just x minus 1 squared. But, you know, depending on what the question was, you may not need to neaten it up any more than that. Okay, what about this one? Well, my u here is ln x, and my v is x. So u dash is 1 over x, that's the derivative of ln x, and v dash is 1. So the derivative here is v u dash, so x times 1 over x, which is just 1, minus u v dash, so that's ln x times 1, which is ln x, and all of that divided by v squared, and v is just x, so that's just all over x squared. So that's quite a nice one. Looks like it's going to be a weird one, but it's actually quite simple. All right, so quotient rule applied to find the coordinate of the x coordinate of a stationary point. So that's when the derivative is equal to 0. So again, I'm going to write out my u's and v's. I think it's often useful to do this in quotient rule questions, otherwise it can get a bit messy. So u is x plus 4, and v is, well, I'm going to write this in indices form, x plus 1 to the power of 1/2. So u dashed is 1. When I differentiate x, I get 1. When I differentiate 4, I get 0. And v dash is, well, power comes down, power drops by 1, multiplied by the derivative of what's going on in the bracket, which is just 1, and there it is. So my derivative here is v u dash, so it's this multiplied by 1. So that's just x plus 1 to the half minus u v dash, so that is x plus 4 multiplied by half x plus 1 to the minus a half, and the whole lot divided by v squared. And if I square v, I just get x plus 1. So if it's a stationary point, it's when this stuff is equal to 0. Now a really useful trick here is that when a fraction is 0, it means the denominator is 0. So I can forget about this and just figure out when this stuff is equal to 0. So let's write this out a bit more neatly. I've got x plus 1 to the half. Now what have I got here? I've got minus, well, there's a half to pull out, x plus 4 and x plus 1 to the minus a half. Okay, awkward factorising. Pull out the, we can see that I've got x plus 1 to the half and x plus 1 to the minus half. The best way to solve this is to just factorise out the smaller of the powers, so x plus 1 to the minus a half. Because what I'm left with now is x plus 1, well, the power here better be 1, because 1 plus negative a half is a half. And now for this stuff over here, well, I've already pulled out the x plus 1 to the minus half, so it's just minus half x plus 4. And all of that equals 0. Now, similarly to the question in my product rule video, I've got the situation where if this times this equals 0, then either this is 0 or that's 0. But x plus 1 to the minus half is never 0 because it's 1 over root x plus 1. Okay, that can't be 0 because it would involve 1 equaling 0, which is not, it's 1. So it means this bracket here is 0. And if I expand this, I've got x plus 1 minus half x minus 2 equals 0. So half x, well, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, so that equals 1. And that means that x is 2. So there we go. The x coordinate of the stationary point is 2. And we could very easily sub that in to find the y coordinate if we had asked for it. All right, one more. We're going to find the equation of the tangent to f of x when x is 0. And here's our function. So that is a funky looking function. U is e to the x plus 1 and v is e to the x plus 2. That means that u dash is just e to the x and v dash is also just e to the x. So that means that the derivative is, well, it's v u dash. So v times u dash, so that is e to the x multiplied by e to the x plus 2 minus u v dash, so that is e to the x times e to the x plus 1 all over v squared, and that is e to the x plus 2 squared. Now I want to find the equation of the tangent. So what I want to do is sub in x equals 0 because that will give me the gradient. Remember, for the equation of the tangent, I need the gradient and a point. So What's the gradient when x is 0? Well, let's just go for it. E to the 0 is 1, so I've got 1 times 1 plus 2, which is 3, minus 1 times 1 plus 1, which is 2, all over 1 plus 2 is 3, and it's 3 squared. So that's just 3 minus 2 is 1. That's 1/9. So there's the gradient. I've got my x-coordinate. What's my y-coordinate? Well, my y-coordinate, I'm just subbing 0 into the original function. So that's e to the 0, which is 1 plus 1, divided by e to the 0, 1 plus 2. That is 2 over 3, 2/3. So what's the equation of the tangent? Well, it's y minus the y value equals the gradient times x minus the x value, which is just 0. So there's a bunch of ways I could present this. It could be y equals 1/9 x plus 2/3, or I could maybe multiply through by 9 to get 9y minus 6 equals x, and we could even just get everything over onto one side and have x minus 9y plus 6 equals 0. So there's a real show-off way of expressing it. Either of these are fine. Okay, I hope that's been a useful and enjoyable look at the quotient rule. We've now got 3 big rules that we can use: the chain rule, the product rule, and the quotient rule. That's all for now. See you in the next video.